Okay.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
That was bad.
Oh my God.
Never mind.
Clearly, that's not going to work. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. This is Henry. Oh my goodness. The weather was mixed leading up to today, and then all of a sudden you wake up to a few days of sunshine. It's so nice to be on the water when it's not raining. So we are here at Vancouver Rowing Club. This is our third annual cleanup here at this little area. Previous 2 years, 1,500 pounds each year. So hopefully we're slowly reducing the number of pounds and number of bottles that we're bringing up. Hoping not to hit 1,500 pounds today, but you know, we hit what we hit, right? So we've got a big crew with us today. Clayton will be down here shortly with his free divers. I got my scuba guys. So far, I've got Leanne. She hasn't dove with us for some time, but she's back. And then I got Dennis, our usual participant, and then I got Karen with me today. Privileged to be diving with Karen again. It's been some time, and yeah, we're just getting things started. It's going to be fun today. We got lots of draw prizes. So Pacific Pilsner's giving us a bunch of things to give away, so that's going to be super fun. All right, I'll check back in with you guys when more people arrive.
I had a couple people cancel, so I'm really not sure how many people are actually coming.
Alright folks, for this dive here, I didn't really have a dive plan. So unlike, say for example, a lake bottom where I have a definitive, like a bowl-shaped bottom, or perhaps if I'm diving next to like a cliff jump wall or anything like that, this bottom here is relatively it's completely featureless, and of course without any kind of landmark, I really had no idea where I am in the water, so I just kind of have to pick a random direction and just hope for the best. So here I go, right as soon as I ducked my head underwater, picked up a couple random little things, and look at this thing here, this big chunk of metal. I kind of want to say that looks like a boat's crankshaft, but it was right in the beginning of the dive. It was absolutely monstrous, and I knew it was going to be really heavy, and I didn't really want to handle it with my gloves. I just want to have a few dives without having my gloves leak, so kind of left that alone. And also I know that like just pure metal, in the sense of just steel, is relatively inert in the water. It's not going to do a lot of harm in the environment. I would have brought it up just for the weight and for novelty factor, but not really, not like right at the beginning of the dive. You can see here there's a ton of silt in the water, and what I'm doing is basically I'm feeling around my hands. This is actually really, really good visibility comparatively to what happens later on. You'll see shortly. But I'm just kind of feeling around, really hoping not to poke a hole in my glove for anything. And finally ran into a little bit of legitimate trash, which is some of these drinking glasses. And of course, not knowing exactly where I am underwater, I'm kind of thinking like I must be underneath like a throwing distance, or perhaps directly underneath where the lounge would have been. And this stuff, as you can tell, is really historic in the sense of like the glasses have been there for a long time. I don't think any new club members would be actively maliciously throwing items into the water. So finally found a plastic chair, lawn chair, and according to the club management, the rowing club management, that they switched out of that kind of chair quite some time ago, probably before COVID, they said, or something like that. I can't remember, but they said the chairs hasn't been used in a very long time. That round thing that I've picked up, eventually figured out that was an ashtray. You'll see at the end, and then you can see here just the absolute like crazy amount of silt. And eventually it got a little bit darker. You can see just to my right there is a piling, which means I'm underneath a dock. So I know that the dock, or the finger of the dock, I don't even know which dock I'm under. I can see that it's kind of blocked out the sunlight, so obviously bring my light out here. And I found a shovel. I didn't know how deeply it was buried, so it kind of took me a little bit of effort to get that out of the water. out of the ocean bed, and eventually did. This is like a 5-gallon bucket full of concrete, and I kind of just moved it or put my hand on it to see if I can move it, and I couldn't, so I just left that alone. Again, I would have brought it up for the sake of just weight, but I knew that it would have stirred up so much silt that it would have caused me a significant amount of problems. So this part here is a little bit funny because I put that shovel down to grab a couple of like beer bottles, and then I lost it. It took me like 2 or 3 minutes to find that shovel again. I was so mad for almost losing it. Anyway, didn't want to play around with that, so I came to the surface knowing that we got lots of surface support. Handed the shovel up. So the funny thing sometimes with surface help is that they get distracted by the first thing I hand up to them, and I don't realize that I'm trying to hand something else up to them, and there's actually a lot of physical effort for me to hold that out of the water. So I'm kind of like waving it at them, and eventually realize that I had something else to give to them. Back down I go, switch to another bag, and continue to collect items. Came up, handed that bag off, went back down, got another bag, because as you can tell, I'm actually on a different color onion bag. Found a cell phone case, but I didn't know what the cell phone was, which is really odd. Couldn't find that. Found some PVC pipes and a few things that shouldn't really be there, a few more bottles, and then handed that up, and then decided that it was time for me to get out of the water. I wasn't actually cold because I was actually dry on this dive, so I wasn't cold, but it was pushing like an hour, and I did tell all the divers during our briefing that try to keep it under an hour. So I think it was time. And I decided to climb this ladder, which is quite precarious. Instead of exiting near the shoreline, decided to climb out of this ladder, which is pretty hard to do considering how much dive gear I'm actually carrying. That's a lot of weight. But this particular ladder is much closer to the rinse station, which I really wanted to wash the salt water off of me. So there's one of the free divers, and yeah, it was nice to get a hose to be able to rinse all the salt water, all the nasty harbor stuff off of me. So there we go. That's the dive. Well, how was the dive there, John?
It was like diving by braille.
Diving by braille.
Hopefully we made a difference.
Well, not as much trash as previous years, but...
There's more coming from the free divers.
Oh, we got a bike. That's cool. One bike. We got some interesting little bits and bobs here. Oh, that's what it was. I picked that up as an ashtray. I didn't realize it was an ashtray. So we even got an old school regulator. Look at that. Some tires, some old batteries, a bunch of bottles there. There's some old school glasses here. Just got a couple of wheelbarrows there.
No, but we can get one.
Here we go. That's humble trash coming up. Free divers are still bringing up stuff. I can see there's a whole wheelbarrow full coming over. Okay, let me get some data on how much we've got so far and then get back to you. So here we have Gordon from Hike and RV, longtime followers of the channel. We'll see him work with my group all the time. And there's Ladana from Lime Bike.
Hi.
She is coming out to help us a few times now. Viewers will remember her from the Goldworthy Pier. So here we are, we're documenting everything, weighing everything. Free divers are continuously bringing stuff up. Somebody commented and said that I don't think the free divers want to come out of the water. Decent amount. So this is the cell phone case that I found, and I went to look for the phone, but I couldn't find the phone, which is really odd that the phone fell out of that. Stuff's still coming up. Alright folks, 944 pounds of trash, 200, I think it's 206 bottles, 30 jars or so down here, and I can't remember, like 70 something of the water glass things. So yeah, and then a bunch of other stuff. So just under 1,000 pounds, a little bit less than last year. Last year we got 1,500 pounds out. So all right, so the first one up is we're gonna draw for radio from the club. Look at that. Ticket that ends in 734. Who has 734?
It doesn't say 721, does it?
Is that you?
734.
Oh,
734. We're gonna do maybe a 6-pack of Pacific Pilsner, the sponsor of this dive. 707.
That'd be me.
We're gonna do a Pacific. This is their cooler pack for Pacific Pilsner, and then we're also gonna give away an ice tray. And ticket number looks like 716. 716.
it is me. Is that there?
Woo!
Nice.
Summer's coming up. Enjoy.
Listen, that type of idiot.
What's your number? All right, last one.
721. All right, it was.
We just did the draw and gave away a whole bunch of Pacific Pilsner beers and vodka coolers. I think they're vodka. And they even make gluten-free beer, so that's kind of cool. Thank you so much for Pacific Pilsner. Thank you for Vancouver Rowing Club for sponsoring this event in the sense of giving us a location to dive, as well as there's beer and burgers for the divers, which is awesome. All right, you guys. Thanks again for Lime Bike Share for coming out to assist with the logistics as well too. They're greatly appreciated, and we'll see you guys in the next one.